Chris Billam-Smith's the last one in the gym. We were here for Caroline Dubois officially, but obviously, of course, you're training, anticipating a fight at some point. We don't know who yet, but you're still in there working away.
Yeah. I'm not the finished article, as they say. So yeah, got a lot of improving to do. Looking to be out obviously end of November, so it's not that long away either. So feeling good in the gym, and yeah, looking forward to hopefully get some news soon.
I read on the Boxing News website that you've got a 2-man hit list. Is that accurate?
The one you invented? Yeah, I think it's likely to be Lawrence or Masternak. I think they're the two likely names. But you know, yeah. Also, yeah, not sure who. Don't care who really. End of November is when I want to fight. So that's the plan.
So Lawrence Okolie, he triggered the rematch clause, obviously a voluntary defence for him, and he had then 6 months, I think, contractually for that fight to happen. Yeah. Must be sort of almost there now.
Yeah, I think
November time.
Yeah, I think around the end of November. Okay. But yeah, look, if it goes a couple of days over and we rematch him, then we're happy with that. Yeah. You know, it's part of the business, and we've worked in good faith with promoters and stuff before, so I think that kind of makes sense, but the plan was always to be end of November.
Do you anticipate that being the fight? Like you've got Masternak as like a backup, like where do you think Lawrence's head at's here?
I think he wants to fight. Yeah. I think the issue may be with broadcasters, because of the way he fights. Obviously it's entertainment business, they're an entertainment network, and the fights aren't that entertaining. So yeah, but obviously contractually with Boxer, he's contracted for the rematch. So we'll see what happens.
Let's just hypothetically say that fight does go ahead. You were the big underdog in the first fight, we all know that, and now you're the champion. Do you think you'd start as a favourite? Obviously you would, but do you think in the eyes of the public you'd now be favourite based on what happened in that first fight at Bournemouth?
I think so. I imagine I would, because I think I looked quite comfortable in there. So it was a wide win with the points taken off and whatnot, and I feel like I should be, because that was probably about 60% of what I could offer, to be honest. But yeah, I think I'd be a lot better in the rematch. So in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, I'd be a large favourite. The odds might flip completely, who knows? But yeah, obviously I was a massive underdog going into the first fight. But you know, odds, bookies' odds are irrelevant, as I've proved.
Yeah. So you were ill. We know that on the week of the fight, and of course it was your first world title fight as well. So kind of stepping into the unknown. So are they the factors that you think would make it sort of a more comfortable night for you in the rematch?
I think yeah, just the illness and the there was a few adjustments I could have done tactically as well. A few shots which I believe would end the fight. The timing, I was throwing the wrong shots at the wrong time, like watching it back, and yeah, and I think the illness was the main thing. I didn't put on as much weight as I normally do, probably about 6 to 8 pounds less than I normally do. So yeah, that's a huge difference. Energy levels were low. I mean, after the fight, I felt so sick. Yeah, my body sugars were. I think my blood sugars are really low, because I literally had a Nectar-Lucozade and I was all right. But yeah, I remember feeling really sick in the change rooms. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't know what it was, because I didn't know if it was the fight itself. I didn't know it was the emotion or what. But no, I think it was literally just blood sugar levels, to be honest. And that's probably from not eating enough during the week and even after the weigh-in and stuff.
That was obviously your big goal, your Everest at this point. So have you had a moment to sort of realign what your goals are, set some new ones, and if so, what are they?
Yeah, obviously the next fight is important, because it's an easy slip-up fight, because it's after you've achieved it. But then after that, I'm looking at unifying. The other champions out there are really, really good champions, but all of them are beatable, and I believe I'm the best out of the lot. So it's about trying to manoeuvre my way into those fights. Obviously, there's talk of Richard getting the Goulamirian fight, so I'd love the winner of that, but I'd also love Richard to win that, because that would be an amazing spectacle for us to have a rematch for unification. Believe Badou Jack's vacating the cruiserweight to go up to bridgerweight and fight there, and I'm pretty sure Makabu's got another shot against Noel Okolie, whatever, I don't know how to pronounce his name. So I think they're fighting for the title for WBC, which I assume will be a Donkin promotion with Makabu, which that's never a good thing necessarily. But if they're the champions, then they're the people I'm going to be targeting next year. And
I know you also fancy an American road trip for the Bournemouth fans. That's on the agenda. I mean, it's sort of a dream for everyone. It's no different for you.
Yeah, I'd love to fight in Vegas. I went out there 10 years ago last week for the Mayweather-Canelo fight. I was there for that. That's the only time I've been. So I'd love to fight out there. AFC Bournemouth have got American owners that own the Las Vegas Knights ice hockey team as well. So sure they'll be on board on getting a few coaches over there, or a few planes over there to Vegas. It'd be amazing to do that, and that's kind of my next sort of I guess pipe dream in a way, because the stadium for a world title was a pipe dream at one point, and but that's my next big dream. But obviously that only works if you're doing your day-to-day routine and graphs. So that's the focus.
Okay, while I've got you, you mentioned Jai Opetaia against Jordan Thompson for the IBF title. It's obviously happening. It's kind of come out of left field for a lot of people. How do you see that fight going? Opetaia starts as a favourite. Jordan Thompson, no pushover either.
No, Opetaia rightly starts the favourite based on previous performances. But Jordan's massive at cruiserweight. He's like 6'7", I think, maybe 6'6". Massively built at the weight. I had him in the very start of my camp for Lawrence, because he was finishing his camp before the Luke Watkins fight. Developing really well, carries power, puts his shots together. So I think it comes down to dealing with the occasion, and sometimes you can give champions too much respect and just sit back and sort of try and lose on points. Like, not try and lose on points, but and that is what would worry me with Jordan. But hopefully I get to see him before the fight, and say, because I mean that's brilliant if he wins. If we get another British world champion at cruiserweight, and then if Richard can go and pull it off as well, then that'd be phenomenal. And also the Opetaia has been out for however long. By the time the fight comes around, it must have been July the 2nd, wasn't it? Yeah. So you're looking at 14, 15 months. Management issues, broken jaw, shoulder surgery. It's a lot to deal with. So be interesting to see how he comes back and how he deals with the situation. But I'd make him a favourite, obviously, and I don't think that's any offence to Jordan. I don't think he's expecting anyone to sort of pick him. And it's the same with me going into my fight with Lawrence. Massive underdog. Didn't expect anyone to make me a favourite going into the fight. Anyone to pick me to win it, because I hadn't shown necessarily that before. But a lot can happen, and mindset, I think, comes into it. But yeah, I wish Jordan all the best, and look forward to watching that one.
Hasn't been made yet, but Goulamirian Riakporhe seems to be in the works. Maybe it might be made before the end of the year. How do you see that fight going if it did come off?
Richard's always got a puncher's chance, and I don't mean that in like he's only got a big right hand. He's got power in all his shots. He's got a good bent arm shots, good body shots. But what would worry me is the pace, because Goulamirian's good at pacing fights, and he picks it up as the fight goes on. Whereas Richard sort of seems to stay one pace throughout, and as so far has found the right shots. You look at the Dion Juma fight, he lost a lot of those rounds. In the rounds he didn't drop him. So that was what would worry me in that fight. I think Richard would have to work on his work rate a little bit more. And really go try and put a dent in Goulamirian, which is probably easier said than done. But Richard's got that power, so he can. I wish him all the best, and I'll be his #1 fan when that fight happens.
Are you going?
If you're
going to Opetaia.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
obviously if Richard against Goulamirian gets made, then I'll be there. Who knows? They might even do a double header with us. That'd be good to build the fight. So, but I'm at the Opetaia Jordan Thompson fight.
Big pay-per-view opportunity. You and Richard with 2 world titles on the line now. That'd be a massive fight for the country.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it'd be an exciting build-up as well. I think you're not going
to start trash talking, are you?
No, I don't think I'll be flipping tables, but I'll definitely have a few words to Richard.
Nice one. We look forward to it. Cheers, Chris.